I cannot see, this video. This is not the first time you show me. I still remember last year you showed me what is happening in Xinjiang.
In Xinjiang, exactly.
But let me tell you this. Xinjiang, have you been to Xinjiang yourself?
No, I never have.
Xinjiang is regarded as the most beautiful place in Xinjiang. There's a Chinese saying, you do not know how big China is.
Ambassador, that is not beautiful coverage, however, is it?
Xinjiang, that is exactly what I'm going to tell you. Since 1990, Xinjiang has completely changed because there's thousands of terrorist attacks. People cannot...
That was 10 years ago. Can I ask you why people are kneeling, blindfolded and shaven and being led to trains in modern China? Why? What is going on there?
I do not know where you get this videotape. Sometimes you have a transfer of prisons and prisoners, in any country.
But just what is happening here, Ambassador?
I do not know where did you get these video clips.
These have been going around the world. They've been authenticated by Western intelligence agencies and by Australian experts who say these are Uyghur people being pushed onto trains and taken off.
Let me tell you this. The so-called Western intelligence make this a false accusation against China. They said 1 million Uyghur has been persecuted. You know how big, how many population Xinjiang has? It's just about 40 years ago, it's 4-5 million. Now it's 11 million people. And people say, we impose, we have ethnic cleansing, but the population has doubled in the 40 years.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but according to your own local government statistics, the population growth in Uyghur jurisdictions in that area has fallen by 84% between 2015 and 2018. 84%.
That's not right. I gave you an official figure. You ask me, I gave you this figure as a Chinese ambassador. This is a very authoritative figure. In the past 40 years, the Uyghur population increased, the population in Xinjiang increased to double. The population doubled. So there's no so-called restriction of the population. There's no so-called forced abortion and so on.
But there is a program of forced sterilization being imposed on Uyghur women at the moment. It's gone on for a long time, and people are finally coming out of China and talking about it. Well, let's listen to an individual named Uyghur woman, Zumra Jawat, who said this recently.
Oylama anda olsa yana ögünüş degan narsani sen hozir chiqqaning bilan yana ikkinchi qatim kirmayman deyman. Ayer birisi a qildi, meyer birisi a qildi. Bir yer ag'ritibdi-da bularning deb o'yladim. Birdan turib mening o'z ko'zimni echib bir yarim soatdan keyin menga ag'rit kirishga boshladi qo'zqimga. Shuning bilan men mashlar o'xshashlar o'rashga boshladim u yerda. U shundan mujuvati o'qilsaq degan shunchalik darajada ag'rit.
Right.
First of all, there's no so-called, pervasive, massive forced sterilization among Uyghur people in China. It's totally against the truth. Secondly, the government policy strongly opposed to this kind of practice. But I cannot rule out, single cases for any country. There's, single cases.
So you can't rule out the fact that it's happening at all. There is a general view.
But the general policy is that is not the government policy. General view is we treat every ethnic group in China as equal.
When we see interviews like that, and we see people blindfolded and led off to trains to be taken to re-education camps, it reminds people in the West what was going on in Germany in the 1930s and 1940s.
That's totally wrong. There's no such a concentration camp in Xinjiang. I think we discussed it. With regard to that video clip, I'll get back to you. There's a lot. There's a lot of fake. We are in the modern, we are in the information age. Media,
Okay,
they make
let me
all
remind you,
kinds of
Ambassador.
fake accusation against China.
I hear that, but let me remind you of what the UN Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Genocide says. It says that genocide is killing people, of course, causing serious bodily or mental harm, deliberately inflicting conditions of life calculated to bring about a group's physical destruction, imposing measures intended to prevent births, and forcibly transferring children to another group. All of those things, it is alleged, have been happening in China, and China is going to face accusations at the United Nations about this.
This is not true. This is not true. The facts just show the opposite. People in Xinjiang enjoy a happy life. They enjoy, the people call for good order to restored in Xinjiang. China, of course, is strongly opposed to any torture, any persecution, and discrimination of any ethnic group people. This is not the case in China. The policy of the Chinese government, as I said, every ethnic group in China is treated equal. That's the success story of Chinese national policy.